I mean, you got to remember that these people were running around the desert 100 years ago, killing each other. And these people are no more royalty than the man on the moon. And Bandar got in tight with the Illuminati, and they said, look, we want you to take the country over because we're sick and tired of dealing with those other jerks, and I think that's what's happening.
You said in your newsletter, Bob, about the unemployment picture. Now, for the 6th consecutive month, all 372 metropolitan areas had over the year unemployment rate increases. Now, that was according to the Labor Department. The numbers in the department's metropolitan area employment and unemployment report are not necessarily seasonally adjusted. The report said 144 metro areas reported jobless rates of at least 10%, up from 6 areas a year prior. You put in your newsletter, El Centro, California, I didn't even know there was an El Centro, had the largest jobless rate in June, from June 08, at 27.5%. Yuma, Arizona, was second with over 23%. And the lowest rate, and what the heck is going on in Bismarck, North Dakota, that they're only at 3.8% unemployment?
Well, they have a stable economy of farming and ranching, and they don't have many changes there. And there's not a lot of people going there. It's rather cold in the winter. And only the buffalo like it there, and maybe some of the Indians. And so you would find that kind of stability in a place like that.
So they're not making little cars or getting government bailouts or whatever. So,
well, it's mostly agriculture, pigs, cattle, and so on.
800-313. We're having a light day today. I wonder why that is. Did we do our job? Did we educate people to the point that they don't need to ask questions anymore?
Summer vacation.
It is summertime, and a lot of people are away.
No, I'm looking at...
I know Rob was talking about going to the Riviera for a couple of weeks.
I'm at the Riviera.
Sandbound.
Sandbox.
Why don't you just go to the Kalahari and be done with it?
Well, it's a balmy 112 out there right now.
Oh, Bob, this
balmy, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
it's dry heat.
Yeah, about 30% humidity. Bob, he is in the desert, and he just absolutely loves. What do you get out of this, Robbie? I mean, it's absolutely lifeless out there, and hot as Hades.
If you get up at sunrise, I swear you won't find a more drop-dead, just scorched place to live.
Yeah. And
that lasts for all of 15 minutes.
I was just going to say 10 minutes.
Well, that's when we get out and about and do my little walk in the desert and
catch some snakes.
Yeah,
say hi to the javelinas.
Yeah, get bit by the tarantulas and the
jackalopes.
Yeah, and what are those things? Little Gila monsters? They bite you, you die.
Yeah, Gila monsters, rattlesnakes, scorpions.
Lots of scorpions.
Yes.
Alacran.
Yes. You don't understand a scorpion until you've been bitten by one.
Oh.
Man, does that get your attention?
I've killed hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Well, I think the most famous place for scorpions is Durango. And they grow about 4 or 5 inches long, and they're big fat devils.
Well, it's not the big fat ones you got to worry about. It's little teeny tiny.
Little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it also teaches you to get out of bad habits like leaving your clothes on the floor. Never leave your clothes on the floor in the desert.
And you get into the habit of picking up your shoes and banging them.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
I pulled an old pair. I mowed the lawn the other day, and there was a pair of shoes in the garage, and just out of habit and we've got we've got scorpions around here, but they don't like the city areas because it's too wet. But we do have scorpions here, but we got a lot of brown recluse spiders. And I'd much rather be bitten by a herd or a bag full of scorpions than I would one of those little buggers. Oh, deadly little thing. At any rate, let's go back to the phones here as soon as I refresh my screen. Jim in Kansas. Hello, Jim.
I wanted you to know that someone was listening, and I was wanting to know if...
No, they're there. I'm looking at the numbers. You all are there, but you're just not calling in today.
If Bob thinks that maybe the low unemployment rate in North Dakota is because the Bank of North Dakota is actually lending money as opposed to these other banks that are hooked up with the Federal Reserve.
Is this a state bank you're talking?
It's the only state-run bank in the nation, I guess. I tried to open an account there, but I have to drive there and actually see me and deposit money there before I can open an account there. And then I'm thinking about doing it later on this month.
Oh, I was just going to say, if they want your body there in the flesh rather than a phone call or via the internet, I would look at that as being a good thing.
Yeah, be sure and bring your green card with you. You'll need it.
Where do I get one of these green cards?
Are you calling him an illegal?
Just teasing.
Yeah.
And do I get an email to remind me when to renew?
Of course.
Just pay your taxes, show up for free medical care, and they'll just think you're one of them.
Oh, yeah. Barry's got a great plan. And, boy, did you see those town hall meetings?
The natives.
That's just a taste of it. We're getting to the people, and they're realizing that there's some bad stuff going on, and this health care plan is one of them.
The natives are getting restless. Jim, hang on a second. Richard, Joan, and others will get to your calls as well. 800-313-9443. Bob Chapman, Robbie Noel, John Statmiller. We'll be right back. I was out in the car listening to the network on WTAE 1330. Spread the word out there, folks. We're on the air. Richard in Alabama. Hello, Richard. Go ahead.
In case they devalue the currency, what will they do with the ordinary cheap coins? I don't mean silver coins. I mean just the modern coins. What will they do with them? And what do they do with things like postal money orders and debts and checks that are being processed through the system? Sounds
probably
like
the
a
worst
nightmare.
possible thing.
Huh?
Probably the worst possible thing. You can expect them to not be cooperative about that, and the coins will be devalued as well.
How will they
maybe
devalue
they'll come out with
coins?
new coins.
That'll be so expensive because the coins cost more to stamp than they're worth.
Well, then they'll probably leave them the way they are and leave it at that. I know one thing. In Europe, when they did the euro, they gave people 30 days, and after that, their currencies, the franc and the mark and so on, were worthless. And there was no compunction about it.
Including all the coins. I wonder.
They had a new currency, and they replaced the coins with partial euros, half a euro, quarter of a euro, tenth of a euro. I don't know what the government would do, and I understand the question and the cost. But then again, the taxpayers are paying for it. What do they care? They do anything they want. I mean, we have no control over our elected representatives. The courts are a two-tier system. One tier is for the wealthy and connected, and then there's the rest of the people. And so maybe they'll just say, well, keep them. Who cares? Or maybe
The Soviet Union gained a wonderful opportunity by losing the Afghan war. They put their people in a revolutionary attitude, so they were ready to accept drastic change. Then we got the Yeltsin revolution, and things didn't really... I mean, they don't have all that much more freedom, but it sure does look like I mean, it looks a lot better. They have elections, and it looks sort of like. And I wonder if maybe we're just playing the same game. We're trying to make people so angry and frustrated that we will accept some sort of a drastic restructuring of government.